Today's bag is our at-home first aid. So this guy is a step up, definitely, from the ones we went over last time, which were these guys, linked below. Just something small to just kind of have around. This is more of a just like general first aid at home kit. Let me show you what we've got in it. So as I mentioned in our the container episode of this series, you can link that below as well. This is a 31 tote, and I love these little pockets because I can keep stuff organized by category. So we'll start on this side because there's a gap, and we will just go around and talk about what we've got in them. So this one is just gloves, and I like this little tube because you can pull them out, use them very quickly, slides right back in there. We've had this tube for years, and I just refill it. I'll get like a big container of gloves and just refill this little guy, and it's perfect. It's right there, and as you saw, super easy in and out, so they're there when you need them. This end is just a little bit of like general wellness. There's a thermometer, a whole pack of Band-Aids, and some headache medicine. This is Cortisone and calamine. So these are for itchy things, whether we've got bug bites, rashes, burns, whatever. Those work really well. This is the only thing in here, and it's just a finger splint. I'm not sure what else we could put in here for hand injuries, but there's that. We'll get around to this, but I guess he could technically go in there. This one is for eyes, which you always want to make sure you've got something on hand because eyes are no joke. So we have eye drops, and then we have this eye patch. I thought it was just one, but now I'm thinking there's actually 14 in there, which is exciting. I thought it was just one. I didn't realize. I probably did when I bought it, but I have an adhesive allergy, which is something you always want to be mindful of your allergies and needs and stuff like that when building your kit, which is another reason to make sure that you're building into a kit regardless of how it starts. So if you just buy a commercialized first aid kit, unfortunately, number one, you're going to overpay for it. But number two, make sure that you're building into it. I can't use standard Band-Aids. I get like blistery hives all over, like big water blisters, really itchy. It's just no good. So I have to make sure that I use the stuff that's for sensitive skin. And I can't pack like regular medical tape. I have to have paper tape. It's a whole thing. So that's another reason to make sure that you're kind of hands-on with what you've got, because let's just say I went ahead and went to Costco and picked up a big first aid kit, because I did that last year. And then we parted it out, used the bag, which actually is in Ronnie's truck as his kit there, and then added a lot of stuff to it. But if I had just thrown that in the car and just counted on it as being everything that I needed, I got into a situation maybe where I cut myself while we were on an outing and needed to use a Band-Aid, and then now I'm having an allergic reaction to the Band-Aid, which was worse than just the small little cut to begin with. So you want to make sure that you're very mindful of that stuff. So we've just got some eye drops for rinsing, and then that to just kind of get it covered. Eyes, you don't want to mess with eyes. You want to go see somebody. So, if you like got a piece of grass in it or something and you could like keep it clean and it wasn't infected, yada yada. Again, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I can't give you professional, advice or anything. All of these are just opinions based on my own interactions and stuff like that, experiences. But you could keep it dry, keep it covered and whatnot until you could seek the care that you needed, or if it was just like something that you could treat at home. Anyway, we don't need canceled, so don't come for me. Keep some stuff for your eyes. Here we've just got Ace bandages, and then this is a little wrist wrap, which is what I was saying I could probably put in that one with the finger splint. We've both had wrist injuries, so we just have these around, and then these are very well loved, as you can see. Ugh, that's gross. That's because sometimes you can't find the little clips for it, so you just use tape, and it leaves that residue. But we've got 2 there, which is good. And then this side I just have a little Vicks, because you can always use Vicks. All right, and then inside of here, I've got that first aid kit that we made before. Again, that video is linked below. And then we just have some general stuff in here. So I've got 2 boxes of gauze. These guys are instant cold packs. This is a reusable heat pack, so super handy. These are easy to find online. This one is from, like, I don't know, whatever. You can find them online. They're reusable. You just boil them to reset it. Super good to have. Rolled gauze. This is like, it reminds me of vet wrap, which is exactly the same stuff. They're calling it sports wrap. But so if you know, scrape your calf, or you got a bad sting or whatever, you throw the gauze on there, and then you can wrap it with this. It'll hold it in place. These are just cotton balls. This is some butterfly closures. As I recommended in a previous episode of this, make sure that you're doing some first aid training, whether it's, you know, certified training or just like watching videos and whatnot. Things like this are great to have on hand, but you need to be able to differentiate between whether something is clean enough for these or not. You don't want to be sealing infection in. So make sure that you're reading up on that kind of stuff before you try to use those. These are just some tissues. This is a skin safe antibacterial. I mentioned that also previously. Like, you can't use Clorox wipes on your body. So make sure you've got something like that, so that if you do get in a situation where you need to bandage something quickly, that you aren't bandaging dirt and whatnot in it. You can just quickly kind of debris it. And then we've got some alcohol pads, and then just more gauze. These are cotton balls. I can't remember if I mentioned that or not. And then I've got this huge thing of masks and some earplugs. And that is because, like I've said, this is basically a mini working farm. So if we go out to mow or weed eat, whatever, this is a quick, easy way for us to just access these and help reduce allergy attacks, because we both get those from mowing. So having them on hand right there is super easy. It keeps them well seen as well, so I can tell when we're almost out. We also have reusable masks and ear protection, but sometimes you just want to grab something quickly. So that is what I've got in here. It is, as I've said, nothing fancy. It's just quick, it's easy, and it is all in this tote, which is super nice. And should we ever have to leave in a hurry, it's quick enough to grab, and you've got a good assortment of stuff in here. So highly, highly recommend investing the time and resources into creating something like this to have around your house. Ours has come in handy more than once for just little stuff around the house. You know, stub a toe and the toenail pops off, kind of a thing. Like, you can treat that at home as long as it's not infected. And even then, depending on treatment methods you use, you could potentially do that at home as well. But, you know, cuts, scrapes, small burns, sunburn, anything like that, just have this kind of stuff on hand and you can take care of yourself. So next up is the big one. It is our Evac Kit, and it's not 100%. We are still building it. So if you guys want to see that, you know what to do. Subscribe, and we will see you then.